Von Miller
Wait.
is on the Rams. The Rams traded, second round pick. They traded their first round pick, I believe, as well. It was a second or a third?
Second and third.
Second and third. They don't have any picks. Their picks are gone, but
Don't they have
did
a
it
fifth pick this year?
Fifth round pick.
and a compensatory third rounder, I think.
Yeah.
But they did it because they want to win now. They want to win it all. And they brought in Von Miller, who you said is one of the best players on your team as of right now. Do you think Von Miller is going to be the difference in the Rams winning or not winning the Super Bowl? How much of a difference does he make? Does he make the Rams favorites? I'll go with you. I'll start with you, Drew.
Before I go into the Rams, it's only right I show my boy his love. It's
a beautiful tweet.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. River, I don't know what he was on. I'm glad he's not here. Probably would have
Had me cracking up.
Probably would have had to stall him, truthfully. But it was a sad day for Bronco Nation. Probably our second best draft pick ever since probably John Elway. He's been the brightest spot of our team for years now. When we were terrible, he was still amazing. Carried us through the darkest of times. I'll never forget Super Bowl 50. He absolutely backpacked us. That defense was a movie to watch, that postseason. And it's truthfully heartbreaking to me. And I didn't see it coming at all. It was a huge surprise to me. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised with the Broncos nowadays. They just know how to break my heart. That being said, to go on to the Rams. Of course it makes them Super Bowl contenders. They already are Super Bowl contenders. Does it make them a lock for the Super Bowl? I mean, it only helps their case, to be honest with you. I've already said multiple occasions on this show, Rams are my team. I mean, they're as close to perfect as it gets. Sean McVay holding down that offense. Now you have the real Matty Ice and Matthew Stafford that has been holding it down. MVP favorite as of right now, according to PFF. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, who's been arguably the best receiver in football. A solid O-line that's been doing a job. Darrell Henderson, almost disrespected him, who has been balling this season. He's been stellar. And we look at the defense. You're going to pair arguably the greatest defender of all time in Aaron Donald with probably the second best defender of our generation in Von Miller, only to Aaron Donald, who are now on the same team. And now you add Jalen Ramsey, who probably is the best corner we'll probably see outside of Darrelle Revis in our lives. This defense is insane now. This pass rush is going to be insane now. And Von Miller is only going to benefit from this because he's playing alongside Aaron Donald. It doesn't matter where you're going to put them on that line. They're going to get to the quarterback. Because obviously you're going to double Aaron Donald because he's Aaron Donald. So what, you're going to leave Von Miller on an island? Von Miller? Doesn't matter what point he is in his career. He could be 70%, he could be 80%, he could be 60%. You put him alongside Aaron Donald with the skill set that Von Miller has, it's a wrap. So this, of course, it only adds. I was probably 95% confident they can go to the Super Bowl. I'm at 99. I mean, this is exactly what they needed to add to that pass rush, to take the pressure off Aaron Donald, because we see it every game. He's getting double and triple teamed. Triple teamed is crazy for a defensive tackle. Now you bring in Von Miller into the mix, and you just look at the season that Matty Staffy's having. It's looking as close to a lock as it gets.
I think this was a win-win. I think the Broncos getting a second and third round pick for someone who is probably going to walk in free agency, who's 31 years old now.
Yeah.
The Broncos they're hard because they're kind of heading towards a rebuild. This trade makes me think they want to rebuild, but they're really just a quarterback away, and they still are. But for whatever, I still think the Broncos made out well getting a second, third round pick. The Rams, like you said, they were already Super Bowl favorites. They were number one for me, with the Bucs being number two if the secondary could get healthy. But like you said, if Aaron Donald and Von Miller are on the same defensive line, you can't double both of them. You're going to probably double Donald just because it's Aaron Donald. So you leave Von Miller one-on-one with any tackle. He's going to beat them most times, right? And I know Von Miller's had some injuries this year. He's getting up there in age. He's still having a phenomenal season. He has 28 total pressures and 5 sacks in 7 games.
It's a dog.
Yeah, he's going to come to this Rams defense who is already filled with superstars, filled with veterans, guys who know how to win, guys who are hungry to win a Super Bowl, and he's going to make it even better.
This was game-changing for the Rams. They're already one of the best teams in the NFC without Von Miller. Matthew Stafford is playing like one of the best quarterbacks in football, and I said it, once he got out of Detroit, he's going to showcase that he's a top 10 quarterback easily. My question about Stafford is in the playoffs and in big moments, how is he going to perform? Because I've seen in big moments in the regular season, he throws picks, and he can get trigger happy sometimes.
Excuse me? He's one of the clutchest quarterbacks in the regular season.
He can get trigger happy sometimes, and he throws interceptions. But when you watch the Rams offense play, when you watch the designs McVay is giving Stafford sees things that only 5 to 6 quarterbacks in the NFL can see developing before him. And Stafford pulls it, just throws the ball, and then you're like, wow.
So fourth quarter comebacks of active QBs right now. He's third with 33. Only third to Big Ben, 37, and Tom Brady with 41.
You want
a
to
little
know
misleading though, because they've been in the league for 20 years.
You want to know why it's
Exactly.
misleading?
He's been in the league since 2009.
I'm saying Brady of active QBs, he's third.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
I was
It's a
saying,
young
like,
list.
how
This
many-
is why it's misleading. It's not only misleading because he's been in the league longer than a lot
I
of
was gonna say
guys.
because he played on Detroit and he had to come back.
Well,
But that's
yeah.
not
It's
That-
the-
that's
it's
that's
the
true.
indicative on
That's
how
true.
Brady is.
It's the age
That's
thing
true.
more than
But
anything.
look at this. The age thing, Detroit is always down, so there's always a chance for Stafford to do it. Tom Brady, the reason why that's more impressive because Tom Brady on the Patriots, they
No
were
doubt. They're always winning.
They were
Always
blowing
winning.
out everybody.
But
It's
they're
like
always winning.
if you compare the times where Matthew Stafford had to come back versus the times he came back, Brady's percentage is probably much higher. Like out of the 50 times Brady is down in the fourth quarter, he comes back 48
Talking
of the
about
time.
Brady, like
With Stafford,
whole
it's
different
probably
category.
like 44 of like the 260 times.
I wonder if I can look that up.
I mean, I don't know if you can, but I'm saying that's my question with Stafford. I know he's an elite quarterback. I know he has elite arm talent. That was never my concern. And it was a big time move when they got him anyway. They have a top 10 ranked defense. And we know that Von Miller is there now, but Leonard Floyd, who's a really goddamn good pass rusher, Sebastian Joseph Day, who's a good defensive tackle. You have Von Miller, Donald, Joseph Day, Leonard Floyd. You don't have to blitz. And in the NFC, that's huge because you can't blitz Collar. Like, if you blitz Collar, he's going to scramble around, and now you got to worry about D-Hop and AJ and weapons they have versus Tampa. If you blitz, now you got to worry about Mike Evans, Godwin, AB, Rob Gronkowski versus Dallas. You can't blitz because then you got to worry about CD and Amari Cooper. This gives the Rams the ability to just rush four and drop back corners
Facts.
and play in coverage and protect that deep ball. And their cornerback group outside of Jalen Ramsey is a bit suspect. We know Jalen Ramsey's a baller. He's going to take out that number one receiver. Darius Williams is coming back off of IR soon. He's a good corner too. But you look at their other corners, they're not very good. David Long Jr. is a liability. Robert Rochelle's a liability.
Yep.
But now if you're playing dom and you're rushing these four, it makes it much easier for the Rams to be better on defense. Right now, they're one of the highest percentage blitzing teams in the NFL. I mean, now that you add Von Miller there, you don't really have to be.
Yeah.
And this year, Von Miller's been playing 70% of his defensive snaps. 4.5 sacks on the year, non-quarterback hits. He's been amazing still. So just that addition is going to take the Rams. It's going to make teams prepare much more seriously for the Rams even more because there's no way to game plan for them. You got to double Donald, but now you're leaving Miller one-on-one. You're leaving Floyd one-on-one. I mean, it's you just there's really nothing you can really do. I'm getting ready to say something.
Uh-oh.
And last year, I had Tampa Bay as my team. Long before the season started, in June, I picked them. And this year, as we were going through all these teams and our Super Bowl picks, I was hesitant. I didn't feel confident in any team. I'm going to ignore how skeptical I am about Stafford in the postseason.
Bro's gonna steal my squad.
I'm going to ignore that.
This is disgusting to me, truthfully. It's gross. It's gross.
The Rams will be the team that wins the Super Bowl this year. I'm ready to say it. I'm going all in. They're my team all year. Anytime you ask me who's winning, I'm going to say the Rams 100% definitively. I don't think there's a team in football that can beat them, that I feel confident can beat them. I think they can beat any team in football, and they're my pick to win it all.
I'm not gonna give you a reaction.
I was going to say you seem sick.
That's all right. It's all right. He knows how early I was to the Rams. He's just gonna bite my swag a little bit, but hey, I'll give you a little bit of credit when
You
we're
picked
hosting
Green
the
Bay,
Lombardi.
though.
In the preseason, but off week 1, I said they were perfect and that Matthew Stafford would be at
After
minimum
they beat
top
Chicago.
3. Exactly.
I'm just saying.
A game against Chicago, I felt that way.
It's a difference when they get Von Miller, I feel this way.
I said that before Von Miller. They didn't need Von Miller for me to know that they were a Super Bowl
They were,
bound.
yeah, they were.
They were a Super Bowl caliber team, but with Von Miller takes them over the top.
Wow.
This is
groundbreaking statement.
This is like DeMarcus Ware going to Denver.
That's
a great
fact.
comparison.
I mean, it's 100%
Like without
true.
DeMarcus Ware, like y'all are probably contending, but he took you guys to that next level.
No doubt.
So that's why I feel, because this year is wide open.
Yeah.
This year's wide open, and there's a chance the Rams don't win it all. But if I was a betting man, I'd put money on the Rams because I just feel like they're gonna get it done this year. It just feels like everything's in place. It feels like the perfect storyline of Stafford's career, being with a horrible organization his entire career. Now the first time he gets out, he smells the success of a Super Bowl championship. It just feels inevitable.